Hello everyone, and welcome to my solo RPG journal. Something a little bit different. I thought I would record creating an army for a warband for Age of Fantasy Skirmish. Now, because I'm playing on TaleSpire, I'm basically limited to the models that are in TaleSpire unless I want to go to a whole lot of work to get my own models and import them, which I'm currently not wanting to do. Maybe in the future, but not right now. So I've decided to make an elf warband because currently I've essentially got a human one and an undead, vampiric undead one from the quick start rules. Maybe I'll modify them in the future, but building a warband from scratch, there are a lot of elf models, and we're going to go with the wood elves, because there was also the Fey models, which we can probably use as well. So looking at the rules, I've got the general rules up here, which basically just say the armies should be, we recommend starting with 250 points per player. Looking at the general rules instead, preparing your army. Again, just 250 points with nothing much else there. Select their units and upgrades from your army's list and sum together their total points cost. There's no limitations as to how many units you get. You can take as long as you don't go over the thing. So there's no real guidelines on creating armies. So instead, I've got the campaign rules and the competitive rules. Now, the competitive rules have that same, we recommend fixing the game size to 250 points. There's a force list thing. There's reinforcement rules, which are options, which I'm not just going to ignore. Interesting thing here is the composition rule here is that you can only have one hero per full 150 points in the force list. So if I wanted to have two heroes, I would have to have a 300 point army. And players must configure their list so that they have a max number of one unit per 25 points. So that would be 10 units for a 250 point army. Players may bring units from up to 2 factions in the same list, but they must select one of them as their primary faction. Not worrying about this at the moment. I'm just worrying about doing one faction. Now, my alternative is to do a campaign list instead. If I make a competitive list, I think that will work well with the two lists I've already got. The which are just the quick start lists. I assume that they are 250 point lists. I should probably go through and check that but if I make a competitive list, I should be able to play with those other lists without having to go and create other lists. Campaign rules are all interesting. I would actually have to create multiple campaign lists or modify the existing ones. The issue here is that warbands, before the first mission, each player receives 150 points to spend on their warband. Players may save up to 25 points to be spent later, and they may only buy one unit with the hero rule. However, if you read through this document, it's clear that you can actually have up to 3 hero units in your warband at any one time. It's just on the first thing you can only start with one, and I believe that each game you get points. So mission goals. The winning warband gets 2 VP and 10 points, while all losing warbands get 30 points. So after first game you start with 150 points, you win. The next game you have 160 points, and your opponent would then have 180 points to their army. So they'd be able to buy 30 points left extra. If you get special objectives, you might get an extra 10 points. Is there anything else about getting... So you can grow your warband over time. So that's actually quite interesting and something that I want to look at doing. But I think that for today, I'm just going to create a competitive army. 250 points, max 10 units, and only one hero. So I'm going to be creating it on the Ravine board, which is the next board I'm going to play a game on. So I will play with this army, and it'll all be set up as I actually pull out the units. So if we jump over to this screen, I've got the rules for the Wood Elves. And I've got Emacs open as well, so I can go Wood Elf list and start creating. And I think we'll work that out as we go. So the Wood Elves are solitary and highly intelligent beings that hide in the depths of the Tyrian Great Forest. They are allies with all sorts of magical beings and fight alongside them to protect nature from exploitation of other races. Maybe I picked the wrong race to build first. This might be a little bit more complicated, as they've probably got a bunch of special rules. The Wood Elves' armies rely on a combination of powerful Treeman frontline and skilled elven archers to defeat their opponents. This symbiosis is used to great effect, allowing the Wood Elves to excel despite their lack of technology. The Elves exist in symbiosis with the magical forces and the Wood Elves, forces of the Wood Elves, and rely heavily on its use in their lives. These magical forces are so powerful that trees imbued with it come to life in order to protect it. Now that the Great Rift has opened, they are going to have to fight hard to avoid extinction as evil demons set the forest ablaze. Yeah, so this is the list. So these are the upgrades. How does this work? Do you get one of these upgrades and one of these upgrades and one of these up? Okay, so I have worked it out. There's basically this upgrades column here, which lets me know which upgrades that unit is allowed to have. Easy. So I can have a Forest Prince, which is a hero, a strider with tough 3. It has a quality of 3 and a defense of 4 and costs 50 points. A druid, quality of 4, defense 3, only 1 attack, but he gets wizard. Now, Forest Prince gets A and I, so I can get 2 hand weapons, which are attack 3. Does that mean I get to make 6 attacks? How does that work? Or do I only attack with one weapon? I'm confused as to how that works. I'm guessing it's 6 attacks. A halberd, which would give me rending. What does rending do? Unmodified rolls of 6 to hit count as having AP 4 and ignore the regeneration rule. That's cool. Spears, which give you A3 in flanks. Great weapon is A3 AP2. A longbow. I can upgrade with a longbow. I can upgrade with Stalkmaster. Stalkmaster, the hero and all friendly units within 12 inches get +1 to melee and shooting within difficult terrain. I can mount it on a horse, which would give me fast and impact 1. Or I upgrade Longbow with 1. So I'd have to give him a Longbow first, but I could give toxic arrows for poisoning, magic arrows for rending, precision arrows, ignoring cover, +1 attack for rapid fire arrows, and barbed arrows for AP2. Cool. That's very cool. The druid, however, is a wizard and could be a wizard too. And the Treeman Elder is the other hero on the list. So he's got a quality of 3, a defense of 4, claws for 4 attacks, Furious Hero Strider, tough 3, and upgrade list C, which allows you to get Wizard 1 for 20 points. And can replace the claws for a great weapon with attack for AP2. Oh, that's pretty good. Quality. It's got the quality and the defense. Get Wizard 1. I might do that if I can find a model. So a tree man. Is that supposed to be like a treant? Which point I've got this. Is that just a regular sized thing? As I'm not sure if these things are supposed to have sizes or not. If they're all supposed to be the same size, I can probably make it smaller. GM tools, player permissions, set size. Oh, yeah. So he can be whatever size I want him to be, if I need him to be change size. So 4 was where I was, and I'm going to make it Treeman Elder. So I only get 1. He's going to cost me 55. This is 1 model. Quality is 3+. Defense is 4+. Equipment, I am going to upgrade with a great weapon. A4, AP2. Special rules are Furious, Hero, Strider, Tough 3, and Wizard 1. And it's going to cost, so it's 55 plus Wizard 1 for 20, so 75, 85 points. And I'm going to really quickly just do this and go total cost is equal to, total cost is equal to the V sum of, so now I should be, if I go like 100 in here, that should just auto update and we're going. Brilliant. That took me a lot more time than it needed to. Cool, so I've got a hero, a Revenant Elder, Treeman. I wonder what, maybe I'm doing this wrong. Let's see what Wood Elves miniatures. Let's see what it's recommending. So the Forest Prince is a elf, Treeman Elder, this one or this one. So Treeman, the idea is that they are some kind of tree thing. Treeman, yeah, okay. But the warriors and stuff look like, okay. Cool. So my Treeman Elder, I'm going to make smaller. See, this one would make a good druid. But I've not done that. I've gone, that's fine. So we're looking at warriors. Warriors have Strider. They cost 15 points. I don't want a Tree Revenant or a Treeman because I'm not going to find models for them. Warrior can have E and G as the upgrade. So I can upgrade with Sergeant. Wonder what Sergeant does. I've Sergeant command groups. One model gets +1 to hit when shooting or in melee. Okay. But he goes by himself at all points. That's interesting. So he could have Sergeant. Could have Musician or Battle Standard. Warrior gets one hand weapon. So E or G. G could have a halberd or a great weapon. Let's get a warrior. He has a quality of 4+ and a defense of 5+. Let's highlight this bit so I know what I'm looking at. It doesn't stay. Hand weapon with attack 1. And Strider, and costs 15 points. So I could get a couple of them, but maybe I want to give them better weapons to make them a little bit more worth it. See what model I can pick. I've got a couple of fighter models. Yeah, I don't want that one. So yeah, I'm thinking him. He's got a hand weapon. He could have a great weapon. He could have 2 hand weapons. I don't have a model with a halberd, I don't think. Is there one with a spear? An elf with a spear? Not really. What are the fae that I've got? There's this thing. Dryad, apparently. It's a fairy. Ooh, what's in humanoid? There's nothing in humanoid that I could use for this. I think I'm going to have a couple of warriors. And maybe some archer things. So I'll have one warrior for the moment. We'll get... What is a ranger? A ranger has a ranger glaive. Has monster hunter. Model gets plus AP2 when fighting units with tough 3 or higher. That's interesting. And Strider doesn't get anything interesting in upgrades. But they do have AP1 off the bat, and they're only 20. Do I have a good model for that? Not really. So my fighter models are this one and this one. I don't really like this one, but I've got this one, which he's got 2 weapons. I've then got this model and this model as archers. And I guess I've got this model as well. Okay. I've got these commoner models. Just pretend like they've got weapons. I guess I've upgraded this guy with he's got a great weapon, but I don't have a weapon model for him. Who cares? Alright, so I'm not likely to get any ranges. I don't really know what to do for an Eternal. A War Dancer has a spear. They've got Regeneration, Stealth, and Strider, and they've got E and H. E is the Sergeant thing, and H gives me 2 hand weapons with attack 1 instead of the spear. Yeah, I'm going to get a War Dancer. War Dancers have 3+ and 6+. So they've got good quality but shit defense. And I'm going to go with the ×2 hand weapons. 1A. So I think that gives me 2 attacks because I've got attacking with... I assume you're allowed to attack with 2 weapons. But they've got Regeneration, Stealth, and Strider. And they cost 25, 30 points. Now, we've got Guardians with longbows. They're the same as Scouts, except Scouts have Scout and Stealth. So what do those actually do? This model may be deployed after all other units and may then move up to 12 inches, ignoring terrain. If both of the players have scouts, they roll off to see who deploys first and then alternate in placing. Okay. And stealth, -1 to shooting when targeting this thing. Strider, cool. So this is my fighter. This is my fighter, warrior, whatever. This is my war dancer. And we've got kind of want the scouts. I don't really care about the guardians. Let's get scouts. They've got the same thing. Lone Watcher costs 35 instead of 25. Who's got a better quality, and they're otherwise the same, but he's got 2 hand weapons. They can only take E, so Ooh. So let's go Scout. Scout 1, 4+, 6+. It's a longbow. 30 inches, 1 attack, and a hand weapon. with 1 attack. He's got Scout, Stealth, Strider, and costs 25 points. However, I'm going to upgrade the Longbow with Toxic Arrows. Toxic Arrows is poison, so I want a 6 that turns into 3 hits. Precision Arrow ignores cover. Rending. What did Rending do again? Unmodified rolls of a 6 count as having AP 4 and ignore the regeneration roll. So they're harder to defend again as opposed to more things. So that's pretty interesting. Rapid fire arrows gives just an extra attack. With a quality of 4, it's pretty good. Barbed arrows give AP 2. I think I want rapid fire arrows. So we're going to go attack 2, Longbow rapid fire. And that's now costing 30 points. So the Lone Watcher has the eagle-eyed thing, but it's otherwise the same. It costs an extra 5 points, but it has 2 hand weapons, but I can't upgrade the Longbow. However, eagle-eyed goes, whenever this unit shoots, pick one of the following shot types, +1 A or AP2. Oh, and you get to pick. Oh, let's do that instead. So Lone Watcher, because I get quality of 3. So it's just a Longbow now with 1 attack. However, I get eagle-eyed. That's even better. Costs 35 though. So Lone Watcher, I'm not going to look at light cavalry. Deer Sister has a javelin, 12 inches, A1 poison, and a hand weapon, A1 poison, and has fast impact 1 regeneration, and Strider. It gets E and K. Ooh, can get wizard. Now there was some rule. Now, what's the point in getting wizard? So there was a rule. Was it in the competitive rules or wizards? Only 1 wizard model per full 150 points in the force list may cast or block spells per game round. So if I get another wizard, so what I'm thinking is I've got this model. She's got the deer horns and a stick. Even though it's not obviously a thing, she could be the deer lady thing, even though I think it's supposed to be more like a half deer, half human, like Enchantress from Dota kind of thing. At which point she could cost 50 points and be a wizard. Has regeneration. Fast impact 1. Yeah, so I think it's supposed to be Treeman Hunter, Hawk Rider, Giant Eagle. Oh, I could get a Giant Eagle. I want a Giant Eagle. 65 points. Hang on, can I afford that? If I get a giant eagle, I'm not getting much else. If I go beast, they do not have a giant eagle model. And I think it's probably better for me to pick up 2 units instead. Because I could get like another 2 of these. And I haven't upgraded them at all yet. I haven't upgraded the warrior or the war dancer. I did upgrade the war dancer. So I won't get the deer sister. I won't get a deer sister. So I'll just take her point cost out. I'm going to upgrade my warrior. So instead of a one-hand weapon, he's going to have a great weapon. No. What's happened? Oh, no, it's okay. Great weapon with attack 1, AP 2. And that's going to cost an extra 5 points, so he's going to cost 20. And I think that I'm going to have 2 lone watchers. 2 war dancers. 2 warriors, and that's 255 points, which is the same as the points cost for the vampire units. And that, yeah, I think that's actually a really good list. 255 points instead of 250. But that's what I checked the vampire list, and the vampire list from the quick start, it was 255 points. So too bad, so sad. That seems fair to me. So let's create a special rules table. Do I do that, or do I do like this and go special rules and go, we've got eagle-eyed, which is whenever this unit shoots, pick one of the following shot types. Rapid, +1 attack when shooting, or precise, AP +2 when shooting. So I've either got 1 attack of AP2 or 2 attacks, which is better than the scout that I was going to have, which was just always going to have 2 attacks. Costs an extra 5 points, but that's okay. I suppose I could change it so that I had a scout with 2 attacks for 5 points less, at which point I'd have a 250 point list army. That's really cool. So that's eagle-eyed. Let's make sure that that is very clear. Now, what, malice? I don't. None of my units have malice. None of my units have monster hunter. None of my units have Stalkmaster. So all of my units have the special rules from the other guide. None of them are specific, apart from Eagle-Eyed, specific to the army. So it's just, I probably will copy them into this list, but let's do, it's not what I want. Special rules, we want wizard spells. So My wizard spells are Spirit Vines. On a 4+. I've only got a wizard 1, that's fine. Target enemy unit within 12 inches gets -1 to melee rolls next time it fights. Tree Stomp, also 4+. Target enemy unit within 12 takes 1 hit with AP 2 and shit on a 4+. That's savage. That's a roll of a 3+. On the die to give give someone an AP 2 deadly hit. That's savage. Regrowth 5+. Target friendly unit within 12 inches gets regeneration next time it's wounded. Insect attack on a 5+. Target 2 enemy units within 12. Within 6. Take 3 hits with AP 2 each. Oh, that's even worse. Harmony on 6+. Target piece of terrain within 6 inches may be moved by up to 6 inches in any direction or may be removed from play. That's going to be hard to use on TaleSpire. It's a little bit insane though. Target harvest on 6+. Target enemy model within 12 takes 3 automatic hits with AP 2. Oh. Okay, so use Harvest on units with multiple models, and Tree Stomp is more useful on single models with Tough. Wow. So I guess the weakness of this army list is that warriors have 1 model with a defense of 5. And they're likely to die pretty quickly. But they hit well. And their hits do quite a bit of damage. The War Dancers get extra attacks and they have regeneration. But regeneration is just 5 up. 5 and 6. You don't take the wound. It's an extra step, I guess. But they do get stealth, which makes them harder to hit with hit on shots. And they do hit really well. But the Lone Watchers, the really good long. Okay, so let's make sure my army is happening over here. We're going to get rid of this model and this model. We've got 2 of you. Oh, what happened here? Come on, over here. We've got 2 of you. And I'm going to leave these as separate models just in case. Oh, I'm playing by myself. Who cares? I'm going to use the same model. And that is my Wood Elf army. So, in the next video, I'll have these guys fight either the vampires or the humans from the Quick Start set. Looking forward to it. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was interesting. Maybe it was informative. Maybe it was boring as batshit, but that's okay. I've had a bit of fun. I've now got another army list. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.